and welcome to Inside Solent, our monthly look at the university's latest news, projects and events. I'm Amy Sutton, Graduate Associate for the School of Business, Law and Communications.
And I'm Multimedia Journalism student Josh Stokes, and we'll be your hosts for this month.
In this programme,
postdoctoral researcher Comalie Kantamanene talks to us about her research on coastal vulnerability.
we celebrate On the Water, a book curated and designed by our English students in collaboration with Solent Press.
Tansi Jessup, Solent's new Professor of Research-Informed Teaching, talks about best practice in her recent professorial.
And OnDoc and MAC Director Terry Barber joins us for an exclusive chat, sharing his top tips on how to succeed in the makeup industry. But first, we find out how student and officer cadets from Solent University and Warsash Maritime Academy braved the cold to raise funds for cancer in the annual 24-hour Life Raft Challenge.
My name's Ian Arnold. I'm a senior lecturer at the Warsash Maritime Academy. We do the Life Raft Challenge every year because we feel that it's a challenge that suits what we do here. It matches up with the maritime training that we give the cadets, and it also gives them real experience of what it's like to be in a life raft. Every £1,000 we raise gives a family a memorable holiday. Over the past 4 years we've raised somewhere in the region just over £40,000. The first 3 years we raised £12,000–13,000, so we do raise an awful lot of money.
My name's Tom Horlock. I'm studying here at the college, doing a foundation degree in maritime studies to be a deck officer, and we're here now for 24 hours just raising money for self-cancer. So anyone who's going to watch this, if you can donate some money, that'd be great. We're doing 24 hours in this life raft, and it is going to be a long old 24 hours.
Returning to dry land now, we'd like to take you back to the night we celebrated the official opening of this building.
Back in January, we welcomed along local art group Urban Sketchers to capture the launch of The Spark, which was attended by Dragon's Den and OnDoc Theo Pafitis.
Some great drawings were captured, but local artist Cy Newell's drawing was chosen as a winner and presented to Theo on stage. We welcomed Cy back to show him the framed sketch on display in The Spark.
UNCONTAINED is taking centre stage in the Guildhall Square for 5 days in April. 4 giant shipping containers were on display showcasing artwork by nearly 30 second-year fine art students. Members of the public were given the opportunity to take a closer look at the student art, which ranged from sculpture and performance to painting and photography.
A lot of people are worried about walking into an art gallery and the response that they go in, and whether they would know enough about a piece of art to be in there, really. So it kind of breaks down barriers here.
They also had the chance to speak with the artists themselves.
It's really nice to be able to talk to some of them, and they've been so positive and given great feedback about all of the bits of artwork here. It's been fab.
A community project led by students from the School of Sport, Health and Social Sciences has helped local football team Netley Royals Football Club expand. Driven by Peter Stott, who is studying BA Hons Football Studies at Solent, over 12 students are helping coach the team each week.
Next, we go over to postdoctoral researcher Comalie Kantamanene to find out more about her research into coastal vulnerability.
Coastal vulnerability is an issue the world over, most recently illustrated when Malta's world-renowned Azure window dramatically collapsed into the sea last month. Postdoctoral researcher Comalie Kantamanene is making a detailed observation of climate change. Her PhD on assessing coastal vulnerability looks at the risk analysis of coastal communities due to climate change impacts, such as increased flooding and storms, and the development of mathematical systems that can measure the financial cost.
I have developed a new methodology, so now I would like to apply that methodology to Southampton and especially Hampshire region coastal vulnerability. At the moment, I am working on multiple projects. In those, main projects are evaluation of coastal vulnerability of the Hampshire region. In that one, I am also analyzing coastal landslides damage impact on local as well as national economies.
As well as speaking at international conferences, Comalie has just received an Emerging Scholar Award and has been asked to chair at a prestigious conference on climate change in Cambridge later this year.
Next up, Solent's new Professor of Research-Informed Teaching talks about best practice in her recent professorial.
Dr. Tansi Jessup is just the latest academic to join Solent's active, expert professorial team, bringing decades of experience in education and research. To celebrate her appointment as Solent's Professor of Research-Informed Teaching, Tansy recently delivered her inaugural lecture on fostering educational change through research to a packed and lively Palmerston Lecture Theatre. We caught up with Tansy to talk about her experience and why education matters.
My role really is to advance research-informed teaching at Solent. So it's to work with academics to build in more engaging research opportunities for students from day one. At Solent there's a special element to this because of many of our courses are applied and industry linked. So I'm hoping too that we'll expand the quite narrow definitions of research-informed teaching in the sector, which tend to look at pure research, and that we'll give it a bit of an applied spin. I think students will see a more lively curriculum, more intellectual stimulation and contemporary sources which drive their intellectual curiosity. But I'm also hopeful that students will begin to do research earlier on.
We now catch up with MAC Cosmetics and Solent on-doc Terry Barber, who came by this month to catch up with our makeup and fashion students.
Terry Barber last visited Solent in 2016 when he was awarded the honorary degree of fashion from the university.
Coming back, it just gave me a chance to sort of come back and talk a bit more about what I do, about the world that I kind of live in terms of beauty and makeup artistry, and share it really, and share some knowledge, share some experience, because I think it's all about giving back.
Terry also told us what he thought of Solent's facilities.
I look around at the facilities and I think, I can't believe they have these facilities. I mean, when I was an art student, I think I was in a warehouse in some docks somewhere in South Wales with no tables and chairs. It's amazing. I mean, it's such a really beautiful environment to learn, to work in.
Terry also shared his top tips with students. Don't
rely on gimmicks. Don't try and achieve everything too quickly or overnight, which I think is a bit of a kind of modern disease in terms of the new type of celebrity. Have an aesthetic, stick with it, realise that everything goes in circles. If it's out of fashion one moment, it's going to be in fashion the next. So kind of stick with your guns, have a definite point of view and stick to that point of view and don't veer from it.
This is Kelly Ward for Inside Solent.
It's now time to find out what events are going on this April.
We're hosting the 22nd Annual Inspire Conference on software, process and improvement related to teaching, training and research on the 11th of April.
There'll be a variety of seminars happening across the university, including the virtual reality and industry event on the 26th of April.
Finally, students, academics and practitioners will gather at the Coaching Innovation Symposium to showcase the progress being made in the local community by students on the Coaching Innovation programme on the 27th of April.
For a full list of times and venues of all of our activities throughout April, visit the events page on our website to find out more. We now go over to Deputy VC Mike Wilkinson to get the latest sector updates and university news.
Thank you, Amy. I'm delighted to say that Solent University has been included on the Register of Apprenticeship Training Providers. That means that we can now deliver in the market in areas which we've already established, such as health sector, leadership and management, construction, engineering and digital. So we're working hard with employers to get the delivery of those programs going, and that will involve a lot of people in the university. In addition, we're developing, at the request of various employers, provision in accountancy, law, HR, project management and financial services. So again, that will involve a lot of you within the university in making those exciting developments. And all of that will be an alternative to our traditional full-time undergraduate education. Finally, I'd like to thank various people within the university who've been working really hard on this new agenda, which is satisfying the government's needs. Thank you.
And now over to the sports desk for a roundup of this month's sporting news.
Thanks, Josh. Hi, I'm Chris Milligan, third year multimedia journalism student with a roundup of Solent's sporting successes, highlights, fixtures and upcoming events. This month, Solent sports teams recorded successes on land and water, with our yachting, basketball and football teams recording notable victories. It was a great weekend for our yachting teams at Sunsail Round 2. They took first, second and fourth places, setting them up nicely for the Bucks Yachting Nationals later this month. And it was an epic weekend for Team Solent's Kestrels, with wins in all 4 Basketball England National League playoff matches. The under-18s won 83-93 away against a strong Kent Crusaders team. They now face a long trip to Manchester Magic in the quarter-finals. Our men's Division 3 side travelled to Chester Uni to secure a 77-81 away win, and our men's and ladies Division 1 teams faced a double-header against local rivals Reading Rockets. The ladies won 72-58 at home, and the men travelled to Reading on Sunday and left with a 71-87 away win. And finally, it's continued successes for Solent's football teams. Our women's teams have been promoted to Bucks 1A, and our men's Wessex football team have reached Southampton's Senior Cup final for a third year in a row. We'll keep you updated on the date of the final, which will be played at St Mary's Stadium. Keep an eye out for that one. And that is all from me, but don't forget to check out Solent Sports website or Twitter page for the latest news, fixtures and results. And do not forget, get behind Team Solent.
And finally, our English students and Solent Press recently celebrate the publication of their new book, On the Water.
Ashley Stout popped by the book launch to find out more.
Solent English students recently became publishers with the launch of their new book, On the Water.
So it's a creative writing anthology filled with poetry, non-fiction, fiction and drama, created by about 35 writers from in and around Southampton and led by students in Solent Press.
The book was curated and produced by Solent students as part of their course.
I think doing things is a great way of thinking about things, and it's been a sort of project where so many of the class has given so much more of their time than I could have expected in my dreams. It's been a great class to work with.
The project provided an opportunity for students to gain real-world experience as part of their degree.
It was definitely one of the more challenging things I've had to do on this course, and it's one of the more invigorating things I've had to do. It's definitely given me a sense of accomplishment.
Waterstones in Westquay played host to the launch and will also stock the book for sale.
So you can either buy it for £5 from Waterstones in Southampton, or alternatively you can go to Indiegogo and you can get it delivered to you, or you can collect it, but that's how we've chose to sell it.
The students are hoping to produce a sequel to On the Water next year. For Inside Solent, I'm Ashley Stout.
Now that's all we have time for this month. Tune in next month for the latest news, views and events inside Solent.
Goodbye and thank you for watching.
Thank you.